Melatonin coming at you with some omega energy. Now, today I want to talk to y'all about something that is also kind of in line with some of the more recent videos I've been doing, and that is some awareness of self. Now, when you don't have self awareness, typically you'll have friends, family members, or whatever tell you something. Like, if somebody's your friend, they're going to tell you when you don't look right in that dress, per se. Or, hey, your breath smelling kind of right. Come over here, let me talk to you. That's an act of love because nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to be the one to tell you your breath stink because they know it's going to make you feel some type of way and it's going to be awkward between y'all for a little bit. But then that person loved you enough to tell you your breath was stinking. Okay? Okay. Now that I'm saying that, be grateful for the person who tells you your breath stink, all right? Let me make sure I fix my hair, y'all. It's time to get these tresses tamed, and so they're getting out of pocket. Anyway, now with that said, some recent experiences I've had let me know that there are some people in this world that will not tolerate really well if you the loved one that tells them they breast stink. And that's when I say breast stink, I mean just like if you have a stink attitude, you're doing something stink. When I say you're doing something stink, I mean behaving in such a way that you are harming yourself and others, and you might not have realization of it. But if you have some realization of it and you don't care, and somebody love you and say, hey, come here, let me talk to you, and you do it anyway, well, then you deserve what you get. Let them do what they get. I'm telling y'all about this for two different reasons. One, on the side of maybe folks who are telling you things, they're telling you out of love, even if it's uncomfortable, and to the folks who are telling people things out of love and getting their face slapped or their hand slapped. I'm gonna talk on two different wavelengths on this one. Okay? Let me start here. What you folks out there doing the most. Okay? And when I say doing the most, I'm gonna give y'all some examples. One, I had a friend, because right now I don't see it as that. I had a friend at one point who was taking works and things that are culturally appropriate for me, someone of Native heritage and African heritage, is appropriate for me. It'd be like if someone wore blackface that is Caucasian to the party, and they don't realize that blackface is not appropriate, even if everybody around you says it is appropriate. And with love, I told her, look, maybe don't do that. The levels at which you're trying to do that ain't for you. In whatever ways. And I wasn't very direct. And that's another thing. Be very direct and precise as to the reason why you're telling them not to do something. Now, I will say that there are certain levels of cultural appropriateness that comes. Like if somebody invites you to the cookout, it's okay to come and do the line dances with the family. It's not then okay to then start thinking you can drop the N-word because you took the ER off. There's levels to this. So that you can be appropriately respectful to the people around you. Or just simply not get your ass whipped. Okay? Someone that will love you enough to tell you when your breath stinks. And we use it as a metaphor for this behavior. But I'm also the one that's going to whip your ass when you don't listen neither. So it depends on how you want the smoke. Okay? Okay. Now, with that being said, understand that if you are not in alignment with certain activities, then maybe don't do them. And I said, if you know you getting invited to the cookout, don't come to the cookout acting sedity like you're better than everybody there. Because once you do that, you've insulted your host. You've insulted the person who invited you in. Now there's a problem. Because the host and the person who invited you in are likely related. And because they are related, they don't know you, they know the person who invited you in. And not everybody about to beat that ass. Because you decided to be disrespectful. That type of energy I'm talking about. Be appropriate with the people who are appropriate with you, as much as you can. But if you're not sure and you're unaware of your behavior, then let somebody else tell you. I'm referencing partly the Will Smith incident that I spoke on in the previous video. Excuse me. But I'm also referencing this generalized behavior cues. When someone's telling you out of love, something ain't right. They may be wrong in their opinion and their understanding of things, because there are times where I've had relatives who are very traditional and, in my opinion, old-fashioned, who tell me with love that I need to do this, that, and the other thing. I'll give an example. Being married for 21 years, that whole time I was faithful, honest, decent, as much as a person could be. It doesn't mean that I stayed married because I just wanted to be married and needed that status symbol, because that was never my deal. I loved, was in love, all of that. None of it was fake. But it got to a point where I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready for this to be. I gave the trial run of living kind of separate lives and all of that. Come back together, try, see what else is on the table. And what was on the table was friendship. Deep love and friendship for me. I had old folks telling me, that's a good man. He got this, he got that. He looks like this, he looks like that. Well, you marry him again then. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, you do that. I'm living life for me. You living life based on your paradigm, and this is mine. I get to see what else the world has to offer, even if it's just me luxuriating and being me. What about with this and that? What? I'm supposed to care what somebody else thinks, and me being married is not goals. It's like, if I have a smorgasbord of foods that I love, for example, and somebody come over with some dessert I wasn't expecting, I'm be like, you know what? Thank you. That's what marriage is to me. I already got a smorgasbord. You want to bring me some dessert? It better be something I want or like. I do enjoy a good creme brulee. Okay? So I'm very particular. It must be prepared properly, or I ain't gonna want it. And I get to be that way. See, that's not what I'm talking about. I understood they said it in love, and sometimes people say things in love that you disagree with. That's why I wasn't disrespectful, especially when it was to my elders. Because I understood the vibration in which they were coming from. And I respect the sacrifices they've given me over time. Ones I was aware of and wasn't. Okay? Now, if it's just a friend, your same age, same vibration, all that, then consider the friendship. Has this person been honest and decent to you? Consider your source. People out there. And I'm talking about across the board. Because if your white friend is telling you something, or your black friend, or your Hispanic friend, or your native friend is telling you something that is either appropriate or inappropriate, or educating you about something, maybe sit down and shut the hell up and listen. This is part of the problem that we have in our current zeitgeist. And the reason why we're stuck, even though we're making progress, is because some of y'all ain't ready to hear some things that are truths. It's like the idea and the notion that you've been living with the privilege of harming others without realizing, and someone lovingly tells you that. And this is how it works for you. That's why you're not aware that this is going on. That's harmful to the psyche of a lot of people. It makes them want to just like recoil. But maybe resist that notion when it comes up in your mind. And maybe, just maybe, you want your children and your children's children won't have to have the same exact conversations that we've been having to have our entire life. Just a suggestion. No, not you. You folks, like myself, who are tasked with and been in a position of having to be the one to tell your friend their breath stank. Once that disrespect comes out, because sometimes it does, I'm going to need y'all to learn something quicker than I did. Let them heifers and bastards go. Because if they knew you before that day, that you told them that they breasting, and you've been ride or dying for them, and then suddenly, when you came and told them they breasting, and they've been watching you tell everybody else they breasting, and you knew that they knew at that time, you wasn't lying, you wasn't ill-intended, and suddenly when it came to them, it was ill-intended. Oh, them sons of bitches ain't got their ego in check, and you don't deserve to get hit with it. That shadow's overactive, and they the one who needs healing. You keep trying to mess around with them folks, they're gonna bring it down with them, blowing their stink breath all over everybody. Because when somebody's in bad energy, it multiplies. And you keep trying to save these people when they ain't even trying to save themselves nor care about your feelings. I say what for? Fuck them. Until you care about my feelings as equally as I care about yours, it don't matter who's right or wrong. Fuck them. I'm sorry, not sorry. Seriously. Learning that quicker in life than later will keep wrinkles off your face. And I don't mean it in a vain way. I mean that in a, you deserve to be happy too. A lot of you empathic people and people out there who are educating the masses about straightening out their coats and cleaning their stink breath and washing their asses. And I mean that metaphorically for nasty ass attitude, bigotry, lack of education, lack of understanding of cultural appropriateness, things like this. You're aging yourself prematurely. I know this from experience. That's why I stopped doing it. I was like, wait a minute. Do I have bags in my fucking ass? You got to be fucking kidding me. I had to gain like damn near 70 pounds over like a 10-year span. Bags under my eyes. I'm just letting folks steal my energy on my shit. Because I keep thinking they're redeemable when they don't give a fuck as long as I keep giving. Listen to what I'm saying to you because I did it. And the moment I started cutting that shit off, little by little by little, between that and them dark nights, honey, it's great for the waistline. Anyway, my life changed. I stopped aging rapidly. I started loving myself a bit more. And not that I didn't love myself. When I say loving myself, I mean the verb of it. You good folks out there don't deserve to be shit on. Ever. Especially when your intentions are good. So maybe give them a little bit. Trying to educate them. Because one of the reasons why I do it, and why I'm saying this right now, is because I brought little people into this world and they didn't have to come here, but I'd like to leave them a better world than I came into. So even if I reach 1, 2, or 10 today, tomorrow, that is as many that is likely not to give my children a hard time or your children a hard time, because that energy multiplies. It is the ill-informed, ill-equipped, and the ignorant that are out here doing all this fuck shit. Those of us who are brave enough to teach them a different way of being, it ain't been an easy road, but it's a worthy one. But I can tell you one thing, sis ain't doing today, tomorrow, or ever again, is allowing someone else's stink ass breath to affect me. That being said, you will love.